Hey, this is Scott from The Rookie Wine and Whiskey Enthusiast. And today, one of the great things about some of the new winemakers in Washington State and the United States in particular, they like to experiment. We're going to talk about this wine here. 2014 Fireside Red Blend, Sugar Horse Hills. Stay tuned. All right, guys. I have got my Finders Keepers t-shirt on today by Grunt Style T-shirts. The reason I'm wearing this for this particular review is, yeah, Finders Keepers, but it was United States. It was Americans. It was American ingenuity that got us to the moon. And you know what? American ingenuity, it takes place in every industry. And you know what? The winemaking industry is no different. One of the nice things about new world wines, whether it's Australia, United States, South America, they don't mind experimenting. They're not held back by some of the old, well, for lack of a better phrase, fuddy-duddy rules, and this is the way we used to do it. And what we have here today is we have a Washington State, Columbia Valley AVA red blend from Sugar Horse Hills. Now, Sugar Horse Hills has a partnership with a small distillery out in West Richland, Washington, called Black Heron. Now, I was at a wine shop out in Polesville, Washington, and the young lady that was down in the wine area, she says, because we were talking earlier about peated whiskeys, and she said, well, I got a wine. Do you like wine? And I said, yeah. She says, well, I got a wine I want you to take a look at. So she brought me this bottle, and it's a red blend. Like I said, it's a red blend. What's different about this red blend, a lot of Washington, specifically Burgundy, French-style red blends, they lead off with a Cabernet Sauvignon. This one is actually 68% Cabernet Franc, 25% Cabernet Sauvignon, 5% Carmenere, 2% Merlot. Again, I appreciate the fact that Sugar Horse has put the breakdown of their recipe on this. It matters to me. I like to know this type of stuff. But here I'm going to read the backside here. Fireside Red is aged for 9 months in whiskey barrels from Black Heron spirits. According to the lady, they were also peated whiskey barrels. So the whiskey industry, whether it was Scotland or, specifically Scotland and Ireland, they couldn't have gotten started without the French, Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese wine industries. And what America has done with the boom in craft distilleries, there's also a boom in barrel usage. So barrels have a little bit more expensive, especially for the wine industry. And for this gentleman here who owns Black Heron Spirits, he also owns Sugar Horse Hills. I believe it's the same owner. I could be wrong. I know that they're located at the same location there in West Richland. But he's obviously not afraid to experiment. And I'll be honest with you, I've been tasting this wine. I've had to write down some notes. But let's go ahead and get into the nose on this first. Well, before we do that, the color on this, it's a garnet. There is some translucency, little bit of a light red ring around the edge. But the color, fairly standard for this type of red blend. But the nose is where, this is where the experiment gets weird. Not only with Carmenere being the predominant, or excuse me, with Cab Franc being the predominant, you're typically going to have a lot of spices and dark fruits, and then this one is no different. Black cherry, pepper, chili pepper. It feels like chili pepper, almost like a chipotle, because you can almost sense a smoked note to it. Smells of dark chocolate. Now there is a heavy oak presence, and that can be concerning, especially for only being in it 9 months. There's also a coffee note on the nose. I tell you, now, unfortunately, this wine is no longer in production. But my understanding is he's also got another red blend that's similar, but this is still out there. Let's go on the taste on this. Boy, I like nosing this, I really do. This is a very medium to medium high tannins. The acid is about a medium tannin. The fruit notes, about a medium, and it's a medium body. But when it comes to the taste, that black cherry is right there. There's a tartness to it. The chipotle pepper now becomes almost a spicy serrano style of pepper flavor to it. I'm almost at a loss for words. Now, the mid palate is fairly unimpressive, I'll be honest with you. But the finishing palate on this, now normally I get a lot of dark fruits up front and they overpower me. Here, like I said, it's the black cherry, it is light on the front, but all of a sudden on the back, that black cherry becomes a very tart cherry. With that tartness, with that tart cherry on the finish, this is where I get a little bit of that smokiness from the whiskey barrel. It's almost a campfire-esque smoke. It's very, very light. So it's almost like you're driving down the road and you're 45, 50 miles an hour. You got the windows down and you're going through the national forest. You drive by a campground and everybody's got a campfire going and it's just kind of wafting in the air. That's almost the flavor that I'm getting. It's hinting in the back. It's on the back. I gotta say, for an experimental wine, or for somebody that wanted to do an experiment with whiskey barrels, this gentleman, lady, or whoever is the winemaker, it's an impressive, small, boutique winery. It's a good red blend. Is it a spectacular over the top? No. I paid, I think I paid $13 for it. It's either $13 or $14. But what he's done or she has done is they've given me a reason now to go to their winery. And you know what? When my wife and I go back out to the Tri-Cities, we're definitely going to hit these guys up. I'm interested. I want to know what else this individual is doing. So it doesn't hurt to review a wine. It doesn't hurt to buy a wine that you know is no longer made, because past expressions of wine will definitely give you an idea as to what the future holds for particular wineries. So listen, if you like this video, if you think Sugar Horse Cellars is something that you're going to want to go ahead and do, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have you had Sugar Horse Cellars wine before? What do you think of it? If you like this video, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like more of this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And when you do hit the subscribe button, a little bell is going to show up on the side. Go ahead and hit that little bell, and that way you are notified when I decide to do more of these wine and whiskey reviews. Remember, folks, it doesn't hurt to experiment. Time to get out of the box of your store-bought mega brand types of wines. You can find good deals in wine from the smaller winemakers, whether it's Washington, Oregon, California, New York, some of the other wine producing states. So anyways, don't forget, please drink responsibly. Like I said, like, comment, share, bell button. Thank you very much. Life is too short for either bad wine, this is not a bad wine, or bad whiskey. Cheers. Thank you. We'll talk soon. Later.